My wife passed away murmuring a revelation that shattered our whole marriage. I'm Ethan Brooks, and for 5 years, I gave up everything, my job prospects, my nest egg, my dreams, to battle Laura's terminal cancer. I sold our vehicle, drained my savings, juggled 3 gigs while she clung to life. Our neighbors and friends stepped up big time. Thousands poured in from fundraisers, prayer groups, charity events. Folks hailed me as the ideal spouse. But in her last gasp, Laura breathed 4 words that flipped it all: check the garage, forgive me. I approached that metal door she'd sealed off for ages. When I swung it open, I uncovered a tidy office setup, phony health documents, financial ledgers revealing stashed fortunes, and messages with her physician, who was actually a failed med student moonlighting as a performer. My ailing wife had been in perfect health. The person I'd ruined myself for was orchestrating a clever scam right from our home. What would you do in my shoes? Share your take in the comments. If this hits home, consider subscribing. The twists ahead will stun you. Everyone saw me as the flawless partner, perhaps overly so. But let me share about the woman I wedded first. Laura was a lead accountant at Riverside Property Management pre-illness. She handled massive portfolios, devoured balance sheets like thrillers, and excelled at keeping data siloed. Clients stayed in the dark about others. I viewed it as job expertise. Now I see it as prep for her ultimate scheme. My colleague Ryan Cooper pulled me aside at Laura's service. "Ethan, I have to say it," he muttered. "You wrecked your world for someone who was checked out long ago. That's not devotion, buddy. That's fixation." I nearly swung at him. Instead, I just bobbed my head and left. But Ryan wasn't the only one wary. For weeks, I'd caught those stares, the subtle peeks at services when I spoke of Laura's care expenses, the uneasy pauses at group meals. Even Laura's sibling Emily Carter had cornered me last holiday. Emily, with her elite business degree and exec suite at a top firm, the family's golden child that Laura always trailed. "Laura's fortunate to have such a committed partner," Emily remarked, stressing committed like a flaw. "Most guys would have bailed ages ago." Bailed? My spouse was fading. What beast abandons that? But clues nagged that I should have probed. Minor inconsistencies. Like how Laura mustered strength to revamp our cellar storage amid her roughest spells, yet couldn't stagger to the postbox when I was present. Or scheduling sessions on my workdays, claiming she hated weighing me down in lobbies. Truth is, I had solid cause to dread cancer. My folks both succumbed to it at my age of 28. I saw their struggles. I saw their defeats. I vowed to fight it tooth and nail if faced again. So when Laura reported gut issues in 2018, I stayed alert. When she slimmed down, I pushed for exams. When Dr. Daniel Price pegged her with advanced pancreatic cancer in 2020, I mobilized fully. But what escaped me, Laura sparked this falsehood feeling overlooked. Emily shone with her high-flying job and ideal mate. Laura toiled at a middling firm, hitched to a basic coder. When she amplified those tummy woes and witnessed my total attention, ditching meetings, hunting experts, cherishing her like royalty, she craved that rush. The lifelong runner-up became the universe's core. By 2022, I hustled 3 roles to cover bills. Morning rideshares, afternoon code contracts, evening fast food shifts. I'd offloaded my 2019 luxury sedan for $35,000, liquidated retirement for $48,000, added a home loan for $60,000. But red flags emerged, like spotting Laura scouting real estate deals on her device, snapping it shut at my approach. "Just figuring our money," she'd claim. Or arriving home early to hear her commanding a call on forecasts and markets. Spotting me, she'd shift to frail tones. "Sorry, dear. Just sorting our coverage." The hints existed. I just framed them as a frail woman aiding our plight, not a fit one steering a shady empire. Affection blinded me, but need made me foolish. Hovering by that garage at 3:15 a.m., I sense my world teetering. If empty inside, I could mourn properly. Cherish Laura as the valiant fighter. Preserve our romance. But if damning, then what? Ruin was done. Our place faced seizure, 60 days for $127,000 or eviction. Credit plunged from $780 to $520. $847 in the bank, crashing on my sibling's sofa sans rent money. Worse than cash woes, if Laura faked, I'd weigh outing her, tarnishing her legacy, confessing my gullibility. Our circle had united. Reverend Scott Turner cited us in talks on enduring faith. Papers spotlighted us, local pairs cancer war motivates all. If fabricated, I wasn't mere dupe, I'd taken aid falsely. And what truly terrified, I took pride in my stand. Pride in unwavering. My top trait. Maybe my sole one. If false, my asset turned liability. But Laura's finale echoed, check the garage. Forgive me. She intended discovery. Whatever lurked, she meant exposure. I yanked the knob and entered. Lights exposed a sleek hub in the nook. Not her hobby spot, a venture den. Compact files, computer, premium printer, neat papers. No hasty hideout. A pro station. Laptop unlocked, as if awaiting. Folders by year, 2018 to 2023. Stacks of unseen docs. Secret account statements. Deeds. Biz letters. But the shaker, DP script notes. Opened it. Exchanges with Laura and Daniel Price. Not health chats, rehearsal directives. Daniel, you wavered on Outlook yesterday. Ethan caught it. Recall, you're dropping bombs, not snacks. Review oncology clips I linked. Laura, script for next meet. Rents Thursday. DP. Eyes swam. Reread. Dr. Daniel Price. No doc, an actor. Laura his boss. Scrolled more, layers peeling. DP profile, 34, pre-med 2 years then drama. Graduated, gig-strapped. Loan debts, evictions, cash-hungry. Ideal recruit. Debut email March 2020. Daniel, I'd your acting ad. Long haul pays if med lingo's your jam. Game. 3 years plotted. Research folder, cancer studies, progress charts, therapies, survivor tales. Laura mastered it like coursework. Finance plans, spreadsheets tying my outlays to property flips. She forecasted my loyalties yield, plotted investments. No slip-up corporate blueprint. Hands quaked finding Daniel Price's digits, dialed endlessly for updates. Rang. Hello. Voice known, but lax. No pro vibe. Dr. Price, Ethan Brooks. Beat. Oh, Ethan, what can I do? Laura gone 3 days. Heard. Condolences. Need records for claims. Hesitation. Tricky now. Why? Ethan, perhaps we, office where? Quiet. Bin loads. Dr. Price, address? It's Daniel. Used given name. Let's meet. Click. Redial, voicemail. Hi, Daniel here. Likely auditioning. Beep. Not doc, actor hustling. Emails showed payouts, $47,000 over 2K monthly plus tips for stellar acts. More, meet spots. Riverside Oncology. Hourly biz suites. Laura shelled $200 per for room B, faked with props and certs. Drove at 4 a.m. dark structure, peaks showed plain desks, no clinic vibe, rentable voids. Dropped my wife at sham clinic 3 years. Home, cracked her true schedule, locked. Chemo days. Agent meets, managers, builders. Too frail for errands, but spry for empires. But empowerment dawned, Laura lacks with key folks. My uni pal Olivia Grant in FBI fraud unit. Email chain last year clarified. Laura, fun lunch. Maple property smart buy. How juggle buys with bills. Math tough. Olivia, Ethan clueless on properties. Surprise post-win. Mom. Laura. Olivia probed as agent, not buddy, spotting odd flows. Another with Mark Peterson from Fellowship. Mark's fraud sleuth, met Laura often, not as I thought. Mark, thanks claim review. Insightful. Laura, must query. Costs sky high. Shopped quotes. Mark. Not aiding scam, collecting proof. Phone pinged. Olivia text. Ethan, tough days. Ready chat. Anytime. I'd it. Then Laura's last to Olivia, March 10th, 5 days pre-death. Olivia, Ethan sniffing. If I go, garage stuff he must see. Laura sensed net. Olivia closed months. Stroke from exposure dread. Found true health docs labeled real vitals. Routine with Dr. Helen Ward. Fine stats, bar 1. February 2023 note, stress signs. High cortisol. Suggest therapy. Declined. Laura cracked under dual worlds. Fake fix bred worse messes. Had proof, law pals, her own tip. Check garage. Why? Deeper files showed endgame. Future folder, timeline. December 2023 miracle cure, normal resume. March 2024 Florida shift for health, $400K condo via shell. No eternal lie, bolt with loot. But March 15th stroke halted flight. Found her me studies, journal of my symptom reactions. Entries like, Ethan peaks when I seem fragile yet optimistic, tears in care talks max his wallet opens. Psych tests on hubby. Recent files, she missed counter surveillance. Olivia built case from August 2022. Subpoenas for banks, claims flagged odd, IRS on hidden rents. Death from bus stress, not upkeep. Phone rang. Olivia. Ethan, lights on. You good? Garage. Hold. En route. Half hour, Olivia with Mark. Primed for this. How long known? Folder down. Official probe 8 months on claim flags. Unofficial, fretted year plus. Why silent? Proof needed, Mark said. Victims shield fraudsters, specially partners. Self-reveal key. Folder open. Ethan, Laura's in broad fraud net. Siphon $267,000 insurers, plus your gifts. Not gifts, deception theft, federal. Scan setup. Next. Choices now, Olivia said. You can assist our probe and aid in reclaiming the pilfered cash, or step back and allow Laura's holdings to retain the funds. What sort of reclaim are we discussing? Mark drew out a fiscal breakdown. Laura possessed 3 lease homes valued around $600,000. She held $90,000 across assorted accounts, plus an asset collection at another $67,000. I crunched the figures. That's beyond what she swiped. Property values climbed, Mark noted. Laura proved a talented financier. If you aid in asset seizure, you'll recoup much of your deficits and support fellow scam targets. Olivia leaned in. There's more, Ethan. Laura wasn't alone in this scheme. We've pinpointed at least a dozen comparable instances over 2 years. Your account could hold more. I pondered all who'd given to Laura's aid, congregation folks who'd set up drives, colleagues who'd chipped into our crowdfunding. They merit the facts. What of Daniel Price? We nabbed him at dawn. Olivia stated he's spilling everything. Turns out Laura enlisted him amid his housing crisis. She dangled reliable pay to act as a medic, and he was frantic enough to agree. Will he serve time? Likely 2 years, with cuts possible for aiding. He never aimed to wound folks, Ethan. He just craved cash and sank too deep. Mark displayed another paper. One extra detail. The life coverage Laura secured last year. The insurer battles the payout over deceit. If they prevail, no survivor perks for you. How large? $200,000. Laura schemed to stage her passing too. Secure hefty coverage, then vanish to Florida under fresh guise. The stroke merely rushed her plotted schedule. So, what do you require from me? I queried. Olivia grinned darkly. We need your help to unveil the reality openly, deterring future prey. The tribute event is tomorrow. Ideal spot, Mark added. 200 possible observers to Laura's schemes. I eyed Laura's device brimming with proof of 3 years calculated trickery. She'd urged me to inspect the garage. She desired truth's reveal. Perhaps time to grant her wish. The tribute was slated for 2 p.m. at St. Mary's Hub. I had 18 hours to weigh using the discoveries. Morning went to crafting a display, captures of Laura's ledgers, duplicates of her messages with Daniel Price, title papers revealing her land holdings, a chronology matching her care slots to real commerce meets. This skipped vengeance. It sought fairness for all she duped. Olivia Grant showed at noon with a national order. Ethan, we hold power to grab Laura's bogus gains, but public reveal is key to curb-like offenses. What of the attendees? They cherished Laura. They cherished fiction, Mark Peterson remarked, arriving. And that fiction drained their funds, hours, and hearts. They earned the reality. I recalled Emily Carter, Laura's kin, who traveled from Boston for the tribute speech. She'd prepped weeks on Laura's bravery and my unmatched loyalty. Emily lacked clue she'd lawed a felony setup. At 1:30, I reached St. Mary's. The gathering space bloomed with pale lilies and snaps from Laura's ailment saga. Shots I'd snapped of her seeming duly frail yet optimistic. Pics now resembling staged drama. Emily arranged her script at the stand, in a high-end ebony gown likely pricier than my auto installment. She'd forever been the thriving sib. Elite business credential, exec perch. Flawless spouse. Laura had endured lifelong inadequacy next to Emily's triumphs. Ethan, you seem drained, Emily noted, embracing me. Prepared for this? More than you realize. Guests trickled in ahead. The space swelled with figures from our world. Fellowship attendees who'd sought Laura's cure. Locals who'd planned food drops in her bleak phases. Peers who'd aided bill coverage. Dr. Helen Ward occupied row 3. She'd been Laura's true medic, issuing fit reports while Laura allegedly faded from cancer. At 2 p.m. precise, Reverend Scott Turner summoned focus. We're gathered to honor Laura Brooks' existence, a lady who met fatal sickness with poise and honor. Emily neared the stand, graceful and steady. Laura taught us true valor, she started. Battling illness while clinging to optimism. And her spouse Ethan taught us true affection. Yielding all for your dearest. The assembly hummed approval. I spotted folks dabbing tears, musing my commitment. Ethan offloaded his vehicle, cleared his nest egg, balanced 3 rolls for Laura's therapies, Emily went on. He never surrendered, never ceased her battle. She cast me as champion for ideal dupe status. Laura frequently felt remorse over the money strain, Emily shared, voice wavering a bit. But Ethan always assured her cash paled beside her existence. I rose. Silence fell. 200 gazes locked on me. Emily halted midway. Ethan, all right. I strode front and placed Laura's device on the stand. I must reveal something to you all, I declared. Something altering all we believed of Laura's malady. Emily retreated. Ethan, what's this? Truth-telling. I activated the device and angled the display crowdward. Laura's bank ledger splashed the projector. $89,000 stashed while I'd flipped burgers for shelter. Laura faced no cancer death. I stated she was fully fit and channeled your gifts and my yields to forge a property realm. Shocks waved through. Some rose for clearer sight. Others appeared baffled, like mishearing. Ethan, you're mourning. Emily urged, you're clouded. I switched to next file. Message trail between Laura and Daniel Price. Dr. Daniel Price, Laura's cancer expert, is really a med dropout called Daniel Price, whom Laura compensated $47,000 to fake as her healer. Chaos broke. Folks overlapping chatter, some upright, others denying shakes. Reverend Scott Turner neared the stand. Ethan, maybe we ought to, I advanced to titles. 847 Maple, 123 Oak, 456 Pine. 3 lease spots Laura acquired with funds meant for her healing. A rear voice bellowed, this can't be. What's can't be? Voiced anew. Insurance swindle this vast. All pivoted. FBI operative Olivia Grant strode the main path, credential shown. Everyone, I'm Agent Grant with the FBI. We've probed Laura Brooks for coverage to seat 8 months. Utter hush. Airflow audible. Olivia flanked me at the stand. Ms. Brooks filed bogus coverage demands summing $267,000 for unreal cancer care. Dr. Ward rose. Agent Grant, I doctored Laura 8 years. Her files lack any cancer trace. Fresh shocks. A mid-area voice queried, our gifts? Mark Peterson rose from rear seating. I'm Mark Peterson, fraud auditor. I've teamed with FBI tracing Laura's money offenses. Bits aligned for all. How vast? Yelled one. MS. Brooks rerouted about $267,000 med cash to land buys, Mark declared. This spans coverage disbursements, local gifts, and Mr. Brooks' own inputs. Ryan Cooper, my peer who'd knocked my zeal, rose. Ethan, when learned. 3 days passed via Laura's final utterance, check the garage. Forgive me. The hero's tribute morphed to unmasking a slick offender, and I shed the gullible lover tag. I became the prey who mustered guts for equity. The group digested, but I persisted. More exists, I noted, pulling Laura's true schedule. While you figured chemo, Laura conferred with land brokers and overseers. The lady too feeble for market runs was vital for venture juggling. Emily paled. But I witnessed her. Slim, drained. Weight drop via managed eats. Mark Peterson clarified, our probe reveals Laura researched actual patients deeply. She mastered symptom apes. Olivia Grant advanced with her dossier. Mr. Brooks reached us dawn with proof backing our national case. Laura Brooks operated a refined swindle over 3 years. She eyed the assembly. Many gave funds, rallied events, lent heart aid in what you deemed Laura's terminal fight. I grasped the jolt. Mayor Richard Bennett rose front. Agent Grant, fraud scope. $267,000 bogus demands. Roughly $35,000 community inputs. Mr. Brooks hits top $180,000. A back voice tallied aloud. Near $500,000. Laura's bought assets grew to over $600,000, Mark appended. She excelled at land plays. Reverend Scott Turner seemed dazed. But Laura sought my prayer guidance on death dread. She appeared truly scared. She was scared, Olivia affirmed, yet not illness. Our probe indicates by January 2023, Laura sensed agents nearing. She plotted, staged, heal, and Florida vanish. I displayed another file. Laura had secured a seaside unit in Sarasota via dummy firm. She aimed to sway me there for her wellness, then new self. Dr. Ward lifted hand. Agent Grant, if fit, her death cause. Stroke from ongoing tension, Olivia answered. Laura endured massive mental strain, upholding grand ruse while aware of enforcement scrutiny. Her true files note high stress hormones and ignored high pressure. Irony struck deep. The faker of deadly disease perished from her deceit's burden. What of Dr. Price? Voiced one. Daniel Price cuffed Dawn. Olivia proclaimed. He's 34, actor who quit med after 2 years. Laura hooked him eviction-bound, promising stable pay for Doc Mimic. I showed message trail of their commerce tie. Daniel sought no harm. Cash desperate, overhead. But federal conspiracy counts await. Emily voiced at last. Duration? 5 years, I replied. From 2018 got gripes through last week's true end. The space took it in. 5 years backing, please, rallies for a ever-healthy woman. Hold, Ryan Cooper noted, if sham, why deathbed spill? I viewed Laura's end message to Olivia Grant, March 10th. As trapped. FBI net tightened. Laura saw no out, so let me unearth proof solo. Olivia agreed. Laura's last to me, if I falter, garage holds what Ethan must view. She desired his find. But motive? Emily probed. Why exposure wish? Mark Peterson checked notes. Our mind profile hints Laura I'd eventual clean. Deceit upkeep wrecked her mind and body. Final weeks, she voiced regret on Ethan's toll. She bequeathed me full money trails. I supplemented asset sale guides and victim refunds. Laura's closing days sought harm reversal. Reverend Scott Turner advanced. Next steps. Olivia unlocked her case. FBI grabs all fraud-bought goods. Insurers reclaim losses. Donors repaid. Mr. Brooks gets harm payout. Recovery sum. Mayor Bennett queried. Post fees and returns, Mr. Brooks nets about $350,000, Mark stated. This spans his money hits, plus fair pay for 3-year scam ordeal. I scanned the assembly. Expressions shifted wholly. Bewilder and rage swapped pity. Yet relief too, truth freed. Know this, I declared. No vendetta on Laura. She's gone. This seeks equity for her dupes and scam blocks ahead. Olivia spoke direct. Coverage deceit drains Americans $40 billion yearly. Laura-like complexities rare, but relation cash ploys more frequent than thought. A mid-woman rose. Signs. Cut off from outside checks, I responded. Laura barred my direct doc chats, file views, or session joins. If a DEAR controls crisis info flow, question why. Dr. Ward added, health alerts, patients energetic for tough tasks but not easy, who block kindoc talks, or symptoms off disease norms. Mark Peterson lifted hand. Money alerts, mystery earnings, hidden deals, or opacity pushback on care costs. The tribute turned fraud awareness class. Emily neared the mic, eyes wet. I owe Ethan sorry, and I owe Laura. The money shift was clear, yet the inner shift cut deeper. I'd mastered checking facts on everything. When my fresh neighbor sought aid shifting furniture due to a bad back, I replied, happy to, but I'd prefer spotting a medic's confirmation first. When he seemed insulted, I shared that I'd grasped the need to validate stories before extending help. He skipped asking more, and I spied him hauling hefty crates easily the following weekend. True affection lifts you via truth. Control drags you low via falsehoods. That shaped my fresh benchmark for every bond. I dove back into romance by month 4. Dr. Helen Ward, the household doctor who'd spoken on Laura's actual wellness files at the tribute gathering. She'd split 2 years prior upon uncovering her spouse's betting habit. We each spot betrayal clearly, she noted during our initial meal. It could turn us suspicious, or it could sharpen us. We picked sharpness. Helen and I embraced total openness, swapped account summaries by date 3, traded full health histories prior to closeness, brought one another to pals right away rather than hiding the connection. This seems sterile, she confessed one night. This seems secure, I countered. By month 6, it bloomed into affection, yet affection with limits, affection with proof. Affection forging faith via facts rather than claiming loyalty via feelings. I turned into an advocate for money misuse alerts, speaking to fellowships and local circles on partnership dangers. Requests flowed steady post-countrywide news spotlight. The top alert, I'd inform crowds, is cut off from outside checks. If a cherished one blocks your direct proof of their tales, ponder the reason. Mark Peterson and I penned a safeguard manual, carrying minus cash loss, money limits for pairs in turmoil. Coverage firms started weaving it into scam-block drills. The Laura Brooks Tribute Fund had aided 18 households bounce back from cash schemes. Fellowships across 6 regions rolled out matching aid setups. Your darkest trial turned folks' strongest shield. Reverend Scott Turner shared with me, my tie to Laura's legacy had grown. I dropped the rage. I grasped her mindset. Laura matured, sensing unseen beside thriving kin. When my fierce reply to her sham sickness showed her that ailment granted her sway over me that fitness lacked, she craved that dominance. The trickery kicked off minor, amped pains for added focus. But my loyalty showed her sickness crowned her my universe's hub. Thus she ramped the deceit to hold that thrill. Once Laura saw the scam had spiraled beyond, she was snared. Owning up equaled forfeiting my adoration and courting legal woes. Pressing on equaled thicker tricks and steeper perils. The strain of upholding that grand ruse had truly ended her. I held one snapshot of Laura on my bureau, not from her illness arc, but our union day, vital, joyful, truly beaming pre-deceits. That was the lady I'd wed. The one I opted to recall. A year post-tribute unmasking, a note hit from Seattle. Lacking sender spot. Mr. Brooks, I caught your tail webwise. I'm a care provider who's assisted my sibling forge cancer 8 months. He swayed me he was ashamed to share his verdict with his partner, so I forged bogus health papers and even mocked sham treatment rounds. Your account woke me that I'm not aiding my sibling. I'm fueling deceit that'll shatter his household. I'm spilling to his partner this week. Thanks for proving affection at times demands bearing falsehoods, even amid pain. Particularly amid pain. I stashed the note among scores alike. Laura's trickery closed with her passing, but the facts I elected to voice kept rescuing existences. True affection skips blind belief. True affection gains faith via steady truth. That's the line I'll forever honor. If you're viewing this and you've sensed overgiving in a bond sans returned clarity, I'd adore your views and comments under. What did you handle uncovering all you trusted on someone was false? At times the folks who cherish us deepest are those we must check most keenly. Faith, yet ever confirm. Your later you will appreciate.